Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while. I want to talk to you guys today about why water is so important, and it really is. All right. So yes, I know here we mostly work on like fitness and stuff, trying to get in the best shape of your life, trying to become the best version of yourself. Um, Water plays a big role in that. Even if we look at diet, for example. So most of the time, when we are hungry or thirsty, our body interprets it, our mind interprets it as an emptiness in the stomach, because that's where water and food both go into. So the issue is that most people are not drinking plenty of water. Most people are very dehydrated. If you're very dehydrated, you're going to feel a sense of emptiness in your stomach, and out of habit, you might reach for food, for snacks, for calories, to try to fill that empty feeling. And then, for some reason, it doesn't feel content. And it's because you're not fucking hungry. You need water. When we drink more water, you're going to feel more satiated, you're going to feel more full, and you're going to be less likely to overeat food. This is going to make it a lot easier to stay in shape. Other things about water. People don't understand that water is needed to process anything that we consume. So, for example, if you drink caffeine, caffeine dehydrates you. We need more water to be able to process that. Alcohol, if you take supplements, if you take creatine, if you take multivitamins, anything that you take, your body needs water in order to process it. This is why even athletes and stuff might drink 1.5 gallons a day, maybe 2 gallons a day, to make sure that we're staying hydrated. Water is very important. It's very important in every single process that our body does. So if we are trying to build muscle, but we're dehydrated, it's going to be way harder to build muscle. If we're trying to excrete toxins and get rid of fat and other stuff like that, water, right? If we're dehydrated, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. If we need to pump blood, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. If we need to filter stuff through our organs, it's going to be a lot harder to do that, which puts a lot more stress on our organs. If we need to think, remember things, cognitive function, water is needed for that. Our body needs water, everything. For everything. So, Gianni, when am I supposed to drink this much water? How am I supposed to get it in? And then also we have to talk about water in relation to hydration, because water by itself is not hydration. But okay, first thing I'd say, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you need to drink water. Most of us are very dehydrated when we wake up in the morning because we usually go, about our 7-8 hours without water. I don't know about you, but the last time I drank water while I was asleep might have been in the womb. So our body's using water for a bunch of different processes. It uses it for recovery, right? We're sleeping, it's doing organ stuff, it's doing blood stuff, blah, blah, blah. And also we're breathing a bunch while we're asleep. Every time we breathe, we lose water, because our breath contains a little bit of humidity that is leaving our body. Okay, so now we slept the whole night. We wake up nice and dehydrated, and most people immediately grab for a coffee. Boom, to the face, dehydrating themselves even further. So first thing I would want you to do, drink some water, at least 1 bottle. If you get 2 bottles before you leave the house, phenomenal. Another easy way is just pair it with any of the foods that you're having. It's going to make it easier for your body to process it, because instead of, it kind of, how would you say, like lessens it, like, it's not so saturated. Like you have this thick piece of food, now it's that thick piece of food minced up, mixed with water. Makes it a lot easier for the body to digest and process it. Yeah. So boom, you have 2 bottles first in the morning. You have at least a bottle with each of your meals. Boom, you drink a little bit here and there. Super mega cool. Now you are on your way to being in a calorie deficit. Easier functioning of the body, better recovery, better skin. Everything's nice and dandy. Another thing is, not to get too nerdy, but a 2% reduction in hydration results in a 30% reduction of efficiency of bodily processes. This kind of is the same thing that I said earlier, just with like math, I guess. But it's 30% harder for your body to carry out its processes when you are just 2% dehydrated. Now, most people that I sit down with that sign up, that want to get in the best shape of their life, I ask them, how much water do you drink on a day-to-day basis? I'm like, how many of these? And they usually tell me 1 to maybe 3. 3 is like the best I'll ever hear. And it just makes me want to tear all the skin off of my face and just grab these people by the throat and wonder, why? Why have you been doing this to yourself? But it's okay, because we're here now and we're going to get this shit sorted out. Trying to think why else water is important. We already talked about how it plays a role in sleep, right? If you're dehydrated, it's harder, blah, blah, blah. Which also you'll have better recovery, faster muscle growth, faster, blah, 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 blah. You feel great. It helps with diet because it helps you maintain a caloric deficit without feeling like you're fucking starving all the time. It helps your body process anything that you put into it, caffeine, all these other things. Stress management. So we also, to an extent, right, there's systemic stress, and then there's like emotional stress and other things. If we're chronically dehydrated, it's gonna feel a lot harder to do things. It's like if I show up to the workout, it's gonna feel extremely difficult. Now, if I was hydrated, let's look at like push-ups. Let's say I show up super mega dehydrated on the verge of death, and I tried to bump out as many push-ups as I could. I could probably get out like 10 or 15. But if I was super hydrated, I might get out 80 push-ups, maybe even 100 push-ups. And both of them are going to feel equally as difficult, but the difference is what I actually got done. So when it comes to performance, you'll be able to get more done, which is going to have a greater impact on your physique. This also plays a role in stress management because your body, your brain, everything will interpret stimulus as being harder than it actually is if you're extremely dehydrated, because your body's already under a bunch of stress, whether you realize it or not. If you're extremely dehydrated and then you enter a stressful situation, your body's already suffering, so it's going to interpret that situation as being a lot more difficult than that situation actually is. So when it comes to work, dealing with family, dealing with whatever, physical recovery from stress, from physical stress or whatever, it is very important. It's imperative, which just means extremely important, that we drink plenty of water, because it's going to put us in our most optimal state to be able to deal with anything that comes our way and not interpret everything as being extremely difficult or stressful for us. Boom, 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 boom. Supplements, you need to drink more water with supplements. Cardio. Also, getting into the whole being hydrated stuff, there is a difference between drinking water and being hydrated. So hydration is the balance in our body between fluid and electrolytes, minerals, and other compounds that like even carbs and stuff. So there's minerals, compounds, electrolytes that are really good at absorbing water. Those are the ones that we need or have that actually get the water into our body rather than it just flowing through us. And everything is about a balance, because let's say we have a bunch of these minerals, electrolytes, whatever, that are really good at absorbing water, and then we have a very little bit of water that comes in. Yes, our body will immediately pull that in, but the minerals and electrolytes and whatever the fuck, they need to absorb water as much as our body wants the water as well. Okay, so they help us get it past like the membranes and stuff so that it enters our body. But then what does it do from there? Does it go to the salt? Does it go to the carbs? Does it go to our cells? Which, depending on what it is and how much it is, yeah. For most people, salt is our main electrolyte. It's the main thing that our body needs to be able to absorb water. Which, if we're drinking something like purified water or distilled water that is void of any salt or minerals, if we're drinking a bunch of that, and imagine we're not putting salt in our diet, because for some reason a lot of people are like, well, no, it's because of the American Health Association, whatever. They said salt was bad for you, and they fucking lied. But yeah, imagine you're not putting salt in your diet, and then you're also drinking a bunch of water with no minerals, no salt, no electrolytes. That water has no way of absorbing into your body because it has nothing in it, nor does your body have enough to actually pull it, draw it in through the membranes of different stuff to absorb it. This is why I'm pretty against distilled water and purified water. You could drink a gallon, 2 gallons of purified water and be dehydrated. You can. That's not the same possibility with spring water. Spring water already comes with some sort of minerals in there that our body can use to help us absorb the water. Like I said, salt is your main electrolyte. There is a difference between electrolytes and minerals. I can't remember right now. Some things are minerals and electrolytes. Some things are electrolytes but not minerals. Some minerals are not electrolytes. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I know salt's really important. There's electrolyte packets if you want to do that. Oh, that's a whole other thing. Is that a bunch of people who don't drink a bunch of water, like they don't drink enough water, but they want to put electrolyte packets in it. So the thing is that electrolyte packets will help you absorb water faster, but it doesn't help you absorb more water if what you need is just more water. So you could drink all the electrolyte packets in the world, but if you're still only having 2 bottles of water, you're still dehydrated. It's not that complicated. If you want to get more specific, you should have however many pounds you weigh, you should drink that many fluid ounces. That's it. You weigh 150 pounds, 150 fluid ounces. For optimal performance, like you're an athlete, that you do cardio and you sweat every day, you should be drinking that much. But yeah, put a little bit of salt on your food, ideally like sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, because those two contain other minerals aside from just like the compound that makes salt. I think it's like sodium dioxide or some shit like that. I forgot what it was. But it contains other minerals that also are helpful, well, for like micronutrients, but also helpful to absorb the water better. A little pinch of salt here and there. You know, salt's good for you. Also, without salt, your brains cannot function. We need salt in order to get electrical signaling from one neuron to another neuron. Without salt, electricity, no flow in our brain freaking potato. You see? All right, I think we kind of covered stuff. I hope you feel more set to start hydrating better. It's been a pleasure speaking to myself, but imagining that there's more people on the other side of this. I just don't want to leave yet because I don't feel like I've gotten everything yet, but I know that there's something. I can't remember it. Either way, you're well on your way to understanding why water is important, why hydration is important, what hydration is, which is a balance of the amount of water that you have, the liquids that you're intaking, and the minerals, electrolytes, and other whatever the fuck. Oh, carbs. I forgot carbs. Okay. Glad you stayed till this part. Okay, carbs. Carbs are extremely good at absorbing water. They're also one of our main sources of energy. So carbs are really good for you. Super mega cool. If you're not eating them before your workout, you probably should start, because again, similar to like being really hydrated and being able to perform more, carbs also help you perform more, but not because of hydration, maybe part hydration, but mostly because it's extra energy. So we get to, since we have extra energy, we get to expend extra energy and do more reps and push ourselves more, which gets us more results. Really cool. Also, carbs are extremely good at absorbing water. So if we take our carbs, boom, before the workout, we also hydrate, and then now we have extra energy, and extra water and fluid in the muscles, we're gonna function better, perform better, get better stimulus, get more results, and at the end of all of it, be super mega elite. That's what we want to do. Now I'm confident I've covered almost everything, maybe. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And happy I got to help y'all out. Have a blessed day. Oh, remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't fucking change you. So keep being immaculate. Have a phenomenal day.